Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I'm very super excited to have you here for another episodes of our project building series. So in this series, we dive into real world coding project and break them down step by step so you can build along with me. So today we are going to build a powerful authentication API using Node.js and Express.js, and we'll cover everything from secure password hashing to the token generation, and we will do it all with best practices in mind. Whether you are just getting started with backend development or looking to level up your skills, this project is perfect for you. Discuss this project about. And before we dive into the coding part, so first let's understand what is mean by authentication.
Okay, let's understand what is meant by authentication. So it is the process of verifying who someone is. Like you can imagine a scenario where you are trying to enter a secure building. Like yes, the guard at the gate asks you for your ID to check whether you are allowed to enter or not. So in this case, you are showing your ID is the authentication part because you are proving your identity. So similarly, in the context of web application, authentication is about making sure that a person or user who is trying to access something is really who they say they are. Usually, this is done by asking for your username and password. Okay, let's take a real example of authentication. Like when you are logging into the website like Facebook, here what happens is you enter your username and password. Like it's like showing your ID to prove who you are, and then the website check in the backend. Like if the username and password match what is stored in their system, then the system know it's you and let you in. And if it doesn't match, then the system denies the access. So after the login, the website knows you are the person who owns that account and you can access your data.
We build in the before we build our project, so we have to define routes for login to enter the informations, that is sign up route where the user can register in our server by entering its credentials like username, which includes like username and password, email. We will simple logging and another routes for logging. So in this logging routes, it will check the whether the user is exist or not through the information provided, information like email and password. We'll create another endpoints slash forget password, and through which the user provide the email, and from this email it will check in our database whether this email is exist or not. And if the email is exist, then code which sent through the link, or new token is generated, or new reset passport link is generated, and through this link user can submit the new password and update its previous password. So we'll implement these types of routes, these types of endpoints in our application. So grab your favorite code editor and let's jump right into it. Okay, I'm opening a terminal, so I will create a folder like authentication, and we'll go inside the authentication folders and we'll initiate our npm package, npm init y and clear, and we need some sort of the package for the routes handling like express.js, and for the token generation we need the json web token, and simply for hashing the password we need the bcrypt.js. So we'll install express, and another is json web token, and another is b. And after the successful installation we can go to the code editor. Okay, so we'll create another application, another file like index.js, and inside this we will create a server const express is F for express, and we'll listen the port 80, 81, and so our server is listening on port 8001. And let's create the another route, simple route for testing whether our application is working or not. Simple, and send in there is a hello world, and we'll change some sort of script as it start. We'll write command node watch index .js, and we'll go through the terminal to run our application, run our server. Like we can write npm start. Okay, our server is running. Let's check through the postman. So we'll create another collection, blank collection. Let's name it as authentication, and inside we'll create the request, and let's look as http colon localhost. Our service running at 1001. Okay. Our service is working fine. It sends the response of hello world. So now what we need is, as we already discussed, we need to add the endpoint sign up, logging, and it's a forgot password. And when the user hit in our sign up endpoints, so it's user permission of username, password, and email through the request of body, and we'll save this in our database. So let's connect to our database. For that, we will use the MongoDB for database data store. Go DB Compass running locally. Let's create the new connection. Copy the endpoints and name is authentication. Okay. Okay, it's working. Let's connect the new database, like our database name is user. Okay, we created our database. To connect with database, we need another package called mongoose package. So install through our terminal, npm install mongoose. Okay, for that also we'll create the new env file, .env file, and we'll save the database URL here, localhost, and we'll choose the database is auth, and let's create another variables called port we'll use 8081 8001, and similarly we need the package called .npm install .env. Okay, inside we'll create another file, or it will be better to use the separate connection for database connection and our server connection, but we'll do in the same file in this project. Okay, so for let's import mongoose and we'll use that is required dot.env, and then we'll connect to our mongoose database. So mongoose.connect URL is process.env dot what we save is a db URL database in case of error. Okay. The URL parameter must be string or undefined. Dot configure dot env file. Okay, let's share it here. We'll connect this data. Our server is running in port instead 8001. We can use process.env port. In case we will use 3080. Okay, so our port is running on 808.1. So let's test again through the postman. Feed the request. Our server is running properly. So for the route handles, we'll create the separate folders, routes folder. Inside the routes folder, it will handle all the routes functionality. And let's create the route folder, routes. Inside it will create the file route.js, and inside we'll need express and const route for express route, and we will export this route. Export routes. Okay, we'll create the endpoints like similar express.get similarly, and auth route dot another one is post, and we'll get another routes dot another post for login. This is for sign up, and this is for login. This now is empty, and we'll import this route in index.js. Routes const auth routes through route slash auth. Okay, is working, and we'll get route middleware app.use like API slash points auth routes. And if we go through auth routes and list it with simple request handler function to check whether it is working or not. So simply send the response as allowed authenticating. Okay, and if you go, we can use above route handler API slash auth. Then we should go through API slash authenticating it. It is working properly. And for database connection also, it is connected to our database. So let's create a schema for user model, like schema for the user model, like what types of information should we store in our database, like in what format of users information should we store in database. That called the schema. For now, we only need to store the user's username, password, and email. So based on that, we'll create the schema. And for to create an schema, we'll do in the separate folder called model folder. Model. My name is user model model.js, and we'll import the mongoose through the mongoose package, from the mongoose package, and mongoose dot scs schema, and name is we need username, type is string, is required true, and should unique true. Yes, we can make it unique, and we should mean length is greater than 20. For validation purpose, we will add the certain message. Minimum right. Username maximum length should be this, we can write, and another email. Let's type string and match, which include our at the rate in our email. Otherwise, it won't be the valid email. And for this password part, will this, and let's comment this now false. So for minimum length should be 8, and maximum length can be any number, and we'll save in the variable const user schema, and we'll assign to a model this schema. We will assign this schema to our model mongoose dot model. We'll give the name, model name as user, and assign with user schema. Okay, and we'll export this model module dot export. And now we'll create the controller folder. So what does controller folder actually do is to handle the logic of various routes. So we have created now 3 routes. So for each routes, they have a specific logic, like slash sign up. It has one logic to register and save the data in the database. For the login part, it also have one separate logic. So to handle this logic, we'll write into the separate folder known as the controller folder. So let's create the folder, controller folder. So let's create the file inside the controller folder, like auth.control controller.js. So inside we will import the model USER from you could require inside the models folder. And okay, we should go one step up, model slash user model. Okay, it's working fine. And we'll export const export const. I will give the name LG logging. It will handle the async compression, request command response. Similarly, we will create the functionality like const sign up async, and similarly for exports const get users. Request and response. So we'll import this route handler function in the route folders in the route file. For that, we'll import from required controller, and this auth controller.js dot central.js. So we have different model. Name is get user, login and sign up. Will get user, and for sign up logic, this will handle the sign up route logic. For the login route logic, this function or this mode middlewares handle the required is not defined. Okay, I have just changed the type in common.js, and now it is working fine. And instead of export, we will use the module.exports to export our middleware from the controller file. And inside the authentication route, we'll import this route handler middleware from the controller, and we'll test from postman. Now it is working. Okay, get user slash will simply response the message hello something only user data. Now if you go through the auth, now it is working fine. So for list implements the sign up functionality first. So before that, we should mention a middleware like app dot use express dot json, adds the response data into the JSON format, and will handles our login sign up functionality inside it. So for the sign up functionality, from the request body, the data will come like username, email, password, and another is confirm. Will implement now. So for the comparison of confirm password and the password, we can use simple if condition, like if password is not equal to confirm password, then we'll simply return is a message like password do not match, and we'll use brackets block to properly handle the errors. Response dot status either status code like and message simply error dot. Okay, instead we send the response here, we can just throw the new error const error equal to new error password do not match, and errors.as status, and throw error. This properly handles our error functionality. And this throw, what the throw does is that this throw actually throw our error object in the catch block, and this catch block properly handles our error. And check whether email is unique or not. This const is exist error using await user dot find one from the mail. So if already exists, then we can't use the same email. Okay, if the image already exists, then we'll send the error that email is already exist, and otherwise if not, then we'll use the user entered passport and as using cryptos, like for const as password unit is bigcrypt dot as password. We need to import bigcrypt. And inside the bigcrypt we have a method called as password and it needs salt of salt round string. So what the actually salt is that it is used for encryption. So if the specified number, then if the specified is the number, then the salt will be generated and the specified number of round and used. Like if I specified is the 10, then internally what the bcrypt library does is that it iterates our this password and it treats our this password encryption in 2 to the power 10 times, which is equal to 10 to the 1000 to 1024 times. So it will iterate our encryption algorithm around 210 1024 times and create a new hashed password. And after that we'll create a new user and const user equal to our user dot create and email and password is equal to as password and email, sorry, username username equal to username. So after the successful creation of user, we will create the JWT token or access token and send back to the user as a response. So for that we need to import the JWT token, JWT from JWT package, and inside it we'll create the token const token to JWT dot sign. So inside this token we'll only store user ID. Inside its ID equal to user dot ID, and another parameter will need a secret token. For this secret token, we'll inside the JWT secret the random value, and we'll use this JWT secret token and set this object as a parameter. Process dot JWT token JWT secret. We have given JWT secret, and then for the time of expirations, and let's say let's create the expiration time is 1 hour. You can set any expiration time. After the token creations, we will send the user is successfully created and send back the token. Let's try this functionality. /sign up post requests URL this token use and send back but and new token is created, and inside the database new user is created. Let's refresh this users, and another new user is created, and password is used as a hash password. Let's implement now the login functionality. For the login functionality, const from the request body and email and password will come from request dot body. So what logic should we implement in logic is that to check whether a user is registered or not. Check okay, we will implement this logic inside the login middleware. For to check whether the email is exist or not, we will consider user wait user dot find one through the email, because we have set the email as the unique property, like the email field is not repeated inside our database. So whether a user is exist or not, this email defined the unique user and email, and if not user is not exist, then we'll simply throw the error. Like should wrap this logic inside the track as block and sends the response through this like that status code. In case status code is not available, we'll 500, and for also message message, and in case if there is no if in case the message is undefined, internal send the messages internal server header. Okay, for the similar part we can use this logic, this response logic inside this folder, inside this cache block also. Simply log here. Okay, it is working fine. And if user is not exist, we'll create the new error, user is not found, and we'll compare the password against the hash password. So for that we'll use the same bcrypt library to compare the password. Const it's wait bcrypt.compare password and user entered password. This user database saved user password and user entered password, and if it is matched, it is not matched, we can send this error is incorrect password, incorrect email or password, and send this the error 10. Since list of user ID, will use user ID. Token sign in. If it is not, you will get again. Let's create the new token. Send back to user. This is login successful and send back to the user. Okay. So this is a complete logic middleware functionality we need to implement for logic routes. So let's save this. New request is a sign up. login. User is not found. Inside the body, we didn't provide any information, password anyway. So if we the secret or private key must be value JWT secret key. I think we have written in small letter. Okay. And if we try to log in, it is logged in successfully. If it is written incorrect mail or password, okay, it's working fine. So now the logic and sign up functionality is working fine. So we need to verify this JSON web token. We need to verify this access token. Like, this token is sent back to the server in each request sent by the client, and inside the server we need to create a middleware that verified the token. Like we use the JSON web token package to decode this token and extract the user information like we previously saved as the payload, like user ID and its expiration time, and we'll check or validate this data, and if it is validate, then we'll send back is this user is this the client is authenticated, or the user that client is authenticated, and if it is not valid, we'll redirect to the login or sign in page. Okay, now we need to create a middleware that verify this token, and this token is sent back to the server from the header, like authorization header. This authentication header will spread it out. So for this we'll create the new route inside the authorization, but it will invalid token and paste this token, and this now it is working fine, like it only responds this message user data. Okay, and inside this user data, let's create the logic to send back all the created user in our database. Const users wait user dot find find is empty object, and response.json response.st status 200 result user dot length and back to users. Let's wrap it in the try and catch block. Sorry, catch error. In case of error, we'll send the response code. Okay, and if we hit that endpoint again, so it shows that we have created a user with this ID user object. So it would be less secured if we send has password to the users to the client. So we should not send this password object properties to the client. So instead we only used for the validation inside the server only. For that, inside the user model, we should write this comment or uncomment this property, so it only sends this result. So for the now, if we try to log in, the data and hash must be required. It means that we have unselected this password properties from the database. So while comparing inside the login functionality logic, we should select the password also. Dot see what the option dot select. We can send back as a PS password. If we try to log in back, so it is successful for the sign up also. working fine. So let's create the middleware. Middleware for verify dot. Inside it we need JWT require JSON with token const verify token. It's the middleware. It will accept 3 parameters: request, response, and next. And we need to call next always inside the middleware. Now let's wrap async and wrap in all in try catch block. Okay, what we need is first is that authorization header. First we need to if let's use token const token equal to request dot errors to authorization dot sp split 0 or 1. Okay, this console token is working or not. If we go back to the postman and send request, we haven't used this middleware in any route, so just export module.export verify token, and we'll use this verify inside the this route. Okay, middleware exception const verify token from middleware slash verify token, and we use this middleware inside this verify token. Now if we send back the request like get user and verify token is working. So if we get inside the term, it is undefined. Okay, authorization. It's only console dot log request dot error request dot errors, and send back the request request dot error dot authorization request dot headers dot authorization dot split with this part and this. If we go back and send back the request again, so this is the token coming from the client. We need to decode this token to get the payload which are stored inside this token. Okay, so if there is no token, this only through token is not provided, and sorry, inside this we can use the same logic like inside the user out this logic. Let's verify token and okay, when the token is not provided, we will create the new error token is not provided, and let's throw the this error, and if it's token then we will decode the JWT token. It's fun. We will verify the JWT token with our security key. We'll use we'll verify the user equal to user, we need user model const user require slash take this one step up, go to the user model and we'll use await require user dot find one slash id with not found with cat, and after that we'll assign this user request. If the token is expired, then we'll send is into 1000. It's less than this data now, then token is expired, and I think we only need only these types of logic inside the token verification. Let's hit the endpoint again, and let's use no authentication part. Connect the property of one and define any script. You can use this and this property inside it. No token is provided. Where token? Okay. So this is the complete authentication features we can implement in Node.js using the Node.js. So if you register with new user, like one mail is already exist, duplicate username should not be able to duplicate. Okay, new user is created, and based on this user we can log in used inside the header and sends the request. So now we got these two results. If without token we'll get the error, that means the user is not logged in. So by using this JWT token we can implement the authentications. Okay, up until now we have finished login, sign in functionality and token verification, and after that so for the forgot password endpoints, so this endpoint is used to forget the previous, when the user does not remember the previous passwords and want to forget or resets the password. This URL, this endpoints does that functionality, like creates a new reset password link. And based when a user click on that link, then there will the token provided through the link, it validates the token and update the password. Okay, that we need to implement another routes also. One is for reset password, so it will accept token, it will accept token through params, and this endpoints validates the token, validate the token, and another is it checks the expired date of token. Like if token is expired, then we can throw the error like your reset passport link is expired, so again you send the another link. These types of information can be sent to the client. Okay, let's implement this forget password endpoints. For that we will add another route, that route that post simple forgot password, and we'll implement this functionality. Put from here, go to this controller and add this functionality to there. So what we have to do is const forget password sync, let's request comma response. Okay, for this forgot password, we have to first step is to check the email. The email should come from the request body. Just create, put in the try catch block. Okay, to check through this part, and this we have already implemented this functionality. What does it do? So let's extract the email from request body. Const email from request body and check the const is user to await user dot find val email. Do we need to select a password or not? I think we does not need to select the password. Okay, it's fine, and let's create the token. If not, it's for the tokens we use the package crypto package to create the random token, and we hash that token and store in the database. Okay, should include crypto package, and let's create the random byte. Yeah. Const reset token crypto dot this random bytes around 20 bytes, and converting into the hexadecimal, and let's hash this password. Okay, as the reset token password. To hash this, there is the another method like crypto dot create hash. We use algorithm as a token. We will create the link. Create a reset. To create the link, const request URL. We use client URL. Instead client URL we can use request dot proto URL dot API slash auth slash reset password slash we put as token. Okay, we'll implement this route. We'll implement this inputs, and we can send the response. We also add the token expiration time. Let's get the token expiration time. Const date plus we will add the time around 10 minutes of expiration time. 10 into 60 into second. Save these two part in our database. To save in our database, we have to add the new properties in our schema. That one is reset password token and reset password expires. So we will save this in our database to auth controller in our document. To save in our document, simply is user dot reset password. What was the schema? Reset password. Reset password token. Reset password token. Reset password token. Go to token. Set password expand and wait. After that, new URL is created and response dot JSON status 200 JSON. Okay, let's try this forget password. We should export it from here and use the model. Okay, it's working fine. Prepare out through forward password endpoint. and it's forget password. Is build a new request. This post request slash for password. I think this is the same spelling. Forget password. Forget password. So to the body we have to provide the mail. Okay. For mail. Mail. Test. Use this. So when you use this mail and hit the request, so it gives the endpoint request URL with the token which is generated from the backend, and this is the token. This is reset token as token. Okay, we did the mistake. So we saved our reset token in our database. So we should save as token in our database. Okay, we should store our as token. Yeah. Should send our reset token in here. Okay. So this is our reset token, and inside the database we saved its as value. Route.post slash reset password, and we will decode token and go to the reset part. Const reset password as in await, and we'll export. So what is our main task inside is that we should decode. We should so we have to write these types of logic inside the reset password. Okay, so let's extract information from new password. I mean new password, and from password full request body. After that we will check if new password is equal to the confirm password. So we should first wrap this in the try catch block for user handling. And inside this it will show these types of error. Okay. For confirmation password, if it is not equal to new password and confirm password will not match, and we will show the custom error. After that we will decode the token. Const token to request dot balance. Okay, we have to decode the token. To decode the token, we use what we have for encoding. We use this similar token as okay. We put synonym crypto, that reset token. Instead of reset token we put token. Okay, based of the hash token and its expiration time we'll query to our database based on this token. Okay, user dot find one, so what we have reset password token. Reset password token should be equal to hash token, and another is reset expiration time should be greater than date.now. Okay, we'll put in the variable and check this expiration date. So we this in this time. And if not user exists, then we will throw the error token is expired or invalid and throw our error. And after the successful expiration, we'll use select. I think we have to select the password. Okay. Password. Has password user dot password be group dot create hash of user password with text. This is how we implemented in login system. Okay, login or sign functionality or sign functionality. Bcrypt.hash password there. Bcrypt.hash. Use our this do not use user dot password. We use user new password. User put the other new password. I think it's working fine. And we'll remove the reset token. Also can be removed by user dot reset. The reset password token equal dot defined. Similarly for user dot reset password expires equal to undefined. And we'll say like the response dot status. What should be status? Okay, dot message password update successfully. Check out okay, now it is working properly. So finally we have implemented our forward password functionality and reset password functionality in our application. So overall we have completed our authentication process using Node.js, and Express.js, and using the various packages like the JSON Web Token, Crypto, and Bcrypt. Bcrypt for hashing, JSON Web Token for token generation, and Crypto is also for hashing our receipt token. So in this way, you can implement receipt token functionalities, complete authentication functionalities using Node.js. Okay, thanks for watching.